New today, a report from a group called All-In Cincinnati says the city's racial divide is holding us back as a community. Perhaps one of the most startling findings, the region's economy could see a nearly $10 billion boost a year if minority residents' incomes were comparable to their white neighbors. And it offers recommendations to address the problem, things like raising the minimum wage, creating more apprenticeships to train workers, and adding affordable housing. But the people behind All-In Cincinnati say their goal is not to create new programs. They want to help the local groups already working on these issues.
We get to have a conversation with them about the policy that can help make their work easier and better. And so there's funding toward these things already. What we hope to do is make it easier for them to have the impacts that they want.
And joining me now to talk more about All-In is the reporter who has been covering the story for us all day, Lucy May. I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
The thing that I'm having a hard time getting my head around is that $10 billion figure. What are the ramifications of that, the trickle down, if you will?
Yeah, this $10 billion this boost that we could have in our economy if we reduce the disparity and eliminated it between the wages that minority workers get in our region and the wages that white workers get in our region, that could have tremendous implications for people. It could put more people in money in families' pockets for food, for groceries, for rent, for medicine. Just give people the breathing room that they need to make their lives better and more stable.
And fuel the economy.
Definitely. Right, that's huge. $10 billion is a big number.
It's a huge chunk. Okay, so is there an easy fix for this to bridge that gap?
No, is the short answer. But this report has a lot of different recommendations for policy changes, things like raising the minimum wage, creating more apprenticeship programs, more other kinds of training for workers who don't have a lot of education, and then really big stuff like improving our kindergarten through 12 education system. They want all the other organizations that are already working on these big issues to come together, become part of this coalition, and start to look at their work through this lens of inequity and trying to make our region more equitable, and then they feel like their results could be more effective.
Can Cincinnati look to any other city that has tackled this?
Yes, the national group that did this study, Policy Link, has done these kinds of studies in other cities. Pittsburgh recently had one done, and they've found that a lot of cities are grappling with these same problems. It's a matter of figuring out where our problems are, what the data says, and what levers we can kind of pull to make a difference.
Can Joe Q Public have a voice in this?
Yes, and the best way to start is that this organization, this coalition, is having an event at the Freedom Center starting at 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon. You can go to my story, RSVP, through the link that's in there, and go and hear from the president of Policy Link and some of the folks who are involved in this work and figure out how you can be involved in making a difference.